Welcome to this week's episode of Gears of Bills of Baron. I'm LB. This week, I got Ant back in the garage. We got some things to discuss. We're talking about the Mustang GTD. Running things over in the ring over there in Germany, right?
That's right, man.
So, before we get started, I'm drinking Florida Man IPA.
I got the Daycation IPA, Highland Brewing.
Okay, yeah. I just something I picked up. Hey, we're gonna see how this go, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess. All right, that's enough for the promo because I ain't paid for it. So, but yeah, we're gonna get into this video right quick. We're gonna watch a little bit of the we're gonna watch the lap, and let's just get into it. Mm-hmm. And you're a Mustang guy. We'll get a take on what we think about this thing, man.
Yeah.
All right, so coming out the gate.
Again, it sounds good. It sounds authentic.
Yeah. So they toasted it up. So they really got this car dialed in, and what they did to this car, the development of this thing, they put everything in the kitchen sink in this car, man. Mm-hmm. The suspension setup, the gearing, the actual drivetrain, whole nine.
Yeah.
But the way it's taken, they always say Mustangs can't take curves, but this right here just blows any of that out the water.
But you got to remember too that it started out as a race car, so a GT3. Mm-hmm. So they made that race car into a road car. So
that's right.
So they had to add in all the nannies, all the safety stuff in there. So it's heavier than the race car, and it's heavier than most cars, running this track.
Yeah,
and it's still doing sub 7 minutes.
Right. I mean, it's outperforming Porsches.
Yes.
So,
and this is a heavier car.
It's amazing what they have done. That to get to this point. Congratulations to Ford and the development team of the GTD development team for this. This is amazing.
And the driver too. The driver. The driver's German. He's raced on this track, almost 40 years. Right. So he knows it like the back of his hand.
Yeah.
And he said after this race that he was just going by feel and let the car do what it do. Because some of the racetrack was wet still. Because they had to wait for the rain to stop.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the track was still wet?
Yeah, in parts, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. So imagine what they do on a nice, perfect drive day.
Right.
With some more tweaking.
Right.
In between then.
So we're looking at the display here. I'll imagine that's in kilometers, the speed.
The speed?
I mean, it's been times when this thing got up to like 230, 240.
Yeah, it might be kilometers. But I think this is miles per hour, I think.
That is miles per hour.
Yeah, that is miles per hour. Yeah, that's miles per hour.
Yeah, that's miles per hour.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
The spots where he gets quick, really quick, especially on those straight ends, which is like the between the second and third, points they got there.
Wow. I mean, it's just mind blowing, mind blowing. For what I understand, that the Nurburgring, the officials, they categorize this car now as a sports car. Mm-hmm. They're not categorizing it as a muscle car.
Right.
It's a sports car. Mm-hmm. So that pretty much, like we were talking about in a previous episode, where does Mustang fit in? It doesn't fit in which bucket. Is it a muscle car? Is it I guess it depends on which model you get. I mean, I don't know.
It depends on how you set it up.
That's
how you set it up.
Yeah, but like even your Mark 1, riding it and the way it sounds, the way it sits, the way, you sit in it, the way it feels, it's like a sports car.
Right.
It doesn't have that like this thing,
right,
where everything's kind of blocky and
right.
But it has a muscle car.
It has muscle. You know,
I agree.
To me, muscle car is the sound. You know,
So the sound has a lot.
In my opinion.
I mean, this thing is a beast.
Yes.
So so let's talk. Like, remember the Ferrari 599s?
Yeah. Totally different.
Mid engine.
Yeah. V12.
Configuration V12.
Yeah.
Sports car.
That's a sport. That's a sports car and muscle car combined too. Yeah.
You would consider that a muscle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, it's kind of vibration.
To me, muscle cars, first of all, have to be front engine.
Yes.
Have to be front engine.
Okay.
And they got to have a sound for what it is, because back in the day, the V6 muscle cars still had some growl to them.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Until they high pitch, because now the cars rev high, so you get that higher pitch.
Right. Right.
Everything. But yeah. To me, it's got to be front engine, and it's got to have a mean note to it.
Right.
You know.
Right. Now, watching the footage, you got the G meter all over the place. But I was watching it.
He's doing 2 G's in some spots.
I know, it's crazy. But you talk about the tires, it sticks. The tires stick, man. I mean, they got to be massive.
Yeah, I think the fronts are 305s, maybe wider.
Usually what you see on the back of cars.
Yeah.
On front.
And then the back is 345s.
Yeah. Unreal, man.
Yeah. I think his fronts are the same as my rears, which are 315s.
Yeah.
And then the rears are 345s on this car, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the bottom left of the screen is showing the view of the driver. One thing I watched this earlier. One thing I was paying attention to, it has this spoiler on the back. It's an active arrow.
Yeah.
And that thing is pretty quick.
Yeah, it
just
is.
to see it react to
it don't mess around.
Yeah, it's not slow, like you see active arrow on you see them deploy out the trunks of those Porsches and all that. They come up and
it's still
but this thing is quick.
Yeah,
it reminded me of the Ford GT that came out with the EcoBoost with the that was a pretty quick system.
Yeah, with the axle lift.
Yeah.
They didn't mess around.
Right, they did. Right, it was business. You hear that? It's not like it wasn't trying to look cute. It was like you hear that.
You weren't trying to show.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was watching it just to see how it reacts, because I watched some of the previous videos of this car, and they had displayed the active arrow, and it was pretty quick.
Yeah.
And just to see how it did on the track here, it was. I thought that was pretty.
Yeah, to see it in action.
Cool to see it in action like that.
Yeah.
See 7 minutes went by pretty quick. So that's how much time it took to get around that track, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
Yeah, but so with that Ford has achieved, what do you think is the next feat? What else are they going to try to beat that? You think they're going to try to beat that time?
Oh yeah, they have to, because the track wasn't really ready for it. It wasn't ready for it yet. And they said, and that was on the first try on a track that was still kind of wet, and they went under 7 minutes. So even though the driver said he just went by feel, he knows the track.
Yeah.
Imagine what he can do when that track is dry.
Right. Right.
All day dry, not just dry here and wet over here. That's how that track can be. It could be, because the elevation change. It could be dry, it could be snowing, it could be wet. Especially this time of year.
Right. Right. One thing when I was watching this thing, it was on the straight. This track don't have many straightaways.
Yeah, the last straight. That's where they put in that full speed. Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. And let me try to get back to that point.
Because before the last stretch, there's two they call carousels,
right?
Which is concrete built into the road,
right?
And there are 2 of those, and then after those 2, the straight is coming,
right?
Yeah,
right. So we got a couple more turns right after this one.
Yeah, because you see that little notch before that last check.
Let's say that.
There's a carousel, there's another carousel, then it's a straight.
Correct. Correct. Now he said that's a make or breaking point.
Yeah.
In this hole, because it's like a switchback.
Right.
And you can't come out of it.
Yeah.
You come out of it wrong.
Yeah.
Or if you go into it wrong,
you can't come in too strong. You can't come out too strong. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see if we can catch it. I think we missed it.
Well, that's the first one, and there's another one coming up.
Right. This one here.
Yeah.
It's about to come up. Right about he's cresting the hill, and then he's coming around. You got to make that strong left-hander.
Yeah. Then boom.
But you got to do it just right, because you got to get.
Boom. Yeah, that's the second carousel.
Right, but then he has to go into it again, and then he's gonna hit that straight.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, man, he's floating this car. I mean, it was honestly a nerve-wracking to watch this thing, because I'm like, okay, a lot of cars tend to, crash out
Right.
on this thing. This one, he's wide open. He's
wide open.
Wide open.
Look at that.
Right. It was unbelievable, man. That's why I saw this, I was like, is that miles per hour? Well, no, it's actually in kilometers. The top speed of the GTD is 202 miles per hour. That's unreal. Yeah, that is easily miles per hour. Look at that.
300.
Look at that.
Boy.
Like, wow. Wow.
And that road is not, that road is not flat road. There's bumps in it, jumps in it.
Right.
After that first checkpoint, there's a jump.
Right.
I don't know if you watched. There's a TV show. Oh no, there's a movie that Gran Turismo did. Actually, I think it was called Gran Turismo. Where there was a kid. He raced on simulators. Right,
and then he went on to racing for Nissan.
For Nissan, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and his first try on the Nurburgring, nobody told him about that first hump,
right?
Which you can get airborne on.
Yeah.
And he been airborne.
Air got underneath the car.
Yeah, air got underneath the car.
Mm-hmm. That happened a couple times at that same track.
Yeah. Oh, it happens all the time at that track, because it's especially for people that don't know.
Right.
And that's why they don't have F1 cars in there, because you can't slow down fast enough.
Wow.
To keep from going airborne.
Wow.
And it's too bumpy for those cars. Yeah. Those F1 cars like to have everything got to be smooth.
That's true.
If you notice, all the tracks are smooth.
That's true. That's true. So with that being said, I mean, do you see that? Do you think like some of the development that's in the GTD is going to trickle down into like sub GT models?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it has to. I mean, that's the reason why they do it. So they can trickle that stuff down. That's like a test bed. And basically they've done it. That's what they did, because that used to be a race car. So all they did was
that's right, because they do race at the Le Mans series,
right? And they race GT2, GT3, GT4. The GT4s are the GTDs. And but yeah, so all they did was take that, put some nice leather interior or nice interior into it.
Right.
Air conditioned, radio, stuff like that,
Yeah.
Put all the heavy stuff in it.
Oh, that's
you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And then that, of course, that'll trickle down even more if, later in
the development with the different vehicles.
Right.
Because I could see that. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you think about some of the things they put in, like, remember back in when the 2010 Mustangs, they started putting the track setup displays in the clusters,
right?
Where you could look at your performance data and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was like in the track pack. It was a track pack,
right?
But now you get in like an EcoBoost model.
Exactly.
It has all these. Yeah. You can look at your specs and the G forces and all that. Yeah. But honestly, even in this car. Mm-hmm. The G is set around where it's hitting in the stereo.
Okay.
display.
Okay.
It's a trick to get to it.
Oh, really?
I try to put it up here somewhere, but a screenshot of it. But you could get to the G-force meter and the radio by going into the navigation.
Yeah.
And putting in a certain type of address or somewhere, and then touching the screen a certain way, and it unlocks the development mode, which had performance data baked into it that was like under development.
Okay.
Before it did crap like that, man. Yeah. But it's crazy how in the infancy of that, it became performance data. That they put on the track pack car or the performance packs, or what they call it.
Right.
And now it's like it's in all of those.
Right.
Mustangs. At the Vero, I kind of see where a dialed down version may end up in a GT or something like that.
Right.
I think that's cool. I always thought at the Vero was cool. You know, the way the car responds to your driving characteristics or what's going on. You know, if you got a sport mode or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's gonna make it down, but it'd be cool. You know,
maybe in some type of you know,
maybe they'll offer it in the parts catalog.
Right.
You know,
so like 6,000. The wing itself is 6,000.
Yeah, because the wing is built into comes out of the back glass. So So if you can get that wing, you gotta. I can see that. Take all that. You got to replace all that stuff. You know, if you want.
They will make money off of this thing. They will find a way to put that in a price catalog. Trust that.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about the suspension because it's all like in the trunk now. In that car.
Yeah.
But
do you remember? Speaking of suspension, do you remember back in '94, '95, the Cobra that was the Mustang Cobra? Body it was the same body style as yours.
The SN95.
SN95. The SN95 that was running off of corn, basically. It was.
Is it that?
It was
white and
it was
blue color.
Yeah,
it was like a two-tone.
Yeah, it was white, green, blue.
White, green, blue.
Yeah,
and
it had the same rear suspension that's in here.
It did have an IRS.
Yeah,
before
it was. Yeah, and it was the same style. The horizontal style.
Wow! So it was a little bit fancy looking.
Yeah. So it was,
but the lateral was framed.
Exactly the same exact thing.
Wow!
And that
I forgot about that car.
Exactly. I got my motor trim book at the house still.
Cool.
You know, but yeah, and that was run off of it was ethanol or it was run off ethanol, I think. But yeah, because they were testing that, and then they were testing that suspension, and that was before, like I said, before the IRS in the Cobra '94, right?
Yeah.
2000. I'm sorry, 2003, 2004.
It was the SN95. So it was pre-99.
Right.
So I think it had to be like a 98 model.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a new Edge. It was
no. But the new Edge came out also with the Cobra has the IRS.
Okay. Yeah.
But this one had the same suspension as that.
Yes.
Same suspension in that 94.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
wow.
So Ford's been messing with this for a long time.
Yeah. What's next, right?
Yeah, what's in there that we're not because we're not on the chart. People were paying attention to that back then. So what have they been showing us that we're not paying attention to?
That's right.
Yeah.
But think about this, like, I mean, it kind of played around my head, like you know how Corvette development did with this every year. Every the C6, not every year, but every model segment of the C5, 6, 7, the engine just started getting further and further back. Yeah. And then the C7 had a great balance. Yeah. But now the C8 is like, okay, that's the only way we're gonna get more out of this car is we throw it behind us.
Right.
So with that being said, and what they're doing, of course, they went with the reverse, the transmission is in the back.
The transaxle,
Right, the transaxle's in the back. And then it has the mid, they push the engine a little bit further to get 50-50 weight.
Yep.
Do you kind of see them going mid-engine at some point?
Well, I mean, I don't know about a Mustang.
I mean, I know it's weird. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, because they already got the GT. You know.
Yeah, but
which is you know.
Are they still developing the GT?
I thought I saw a new variant coming out. I think they're coming back out with the V8. I think they put the V8.
I heard something about that.
Yeah.
I haven't heard any disclosed information about it though.
But then again, just they're trying to keep keep it for people not paying attention. Flying under the radar.
Usually what happens.
Yeah, but I mean, now that I can see them doing in the trickling that down is the transaxle for the Mustang. I can see them trickling that. If they want to keep an ICE engine.
Yeah.
If they want to keep the ICE engine, I can see them putting the transmission in the back. Mm-hmm. And then pulling the engine back a little bit. But what the one thing you gotta do is fix that dashboard situation.
Yeah, I have my qualms with the whole screens as a dash.
Yeah.
I mean
it's cool if it's like this last couple weekends. Me and Mike went out of town. Went to Charlotte, and I got a Cadillac. And Cadillac has got it perfect.
Which one did you get? The CT6 or the CT5?
Actually, I got the SUV. So I got the the ATX, something like that.
Yeah, and then they have this.
But they all have the same display.
That's right.
You when you get all have the same display.
Right, which is one I do like the Cadillacs. So the setups and those things, like the CT6 or CT5. Whatever. Those are beautiful cars.
Yeah.
The V specs or whatever. Mm-hmm. But man, those are cool. Those are so cool.
They are.
I like what they did with that. Mm-hmm. I know Ford has gotten out of the car game besides Mustangs.
Right.
Man, Ford needed to come back with a sedan or something. You got to do it. Yeah. I mean, I'm not talking about the cars.
Keep that up.
Just let it go.
Let it go. Exactly.
Yeah, I know you're still making it overseas, and I think somewhere overseas you're still producing. Mm-hmm. I get it, but they got to have like something that's cool. Like to me, sedans should always be in a lineup somewhere.
It should be.
Let's get away from this whole 100% SUV business, 99% SUVs.
Right. Because they only got one car.
They only got one car.
Only one car now. That's it. That's the Mustang.
Basically.
There's one car.
Yeah. And it's like, hot hatches are still hot.
Yes.
Sedans are still hot.
Yeah.
I understand the thing with the coupes. I mean, you got the cover with Mustangs, but wagons are still hot. In my opinion, I still like a cool wagon.
Yeah, there is a guy. He made a wagon, a Magnum,
like a Charger wagon. Magnum.
Yeah. It was he made he made a Charger wagon, but it was a Hellcat wagon.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So
there's still some room for that, man. SUV. It's too many on the road. It's just
that's all it is.
It makes
small SUVs,
look like
big SUVs.
Yeah, it just makes the streets a little boring. It's like
middle-sized SUVs, and then you see a Cybertruck.
You see all these Jelly Beans and Cybertruck. So you got a point. You got a point there, man. That's true, man. So let's get back to producing some these automakers, man. I don't know what's going to happen to Chrysler. I think that's a done deal. They only got the Chrysler Town and Country, many Pacifica or something. I think they only got like one vehicle now in there.
Yeah, Chrysler
300s are gone.
They're gone now?
Yeah, the 300s.
I thought I think I tried to build one. And that's right, you're right, it is gone. Because I tried to build it and it wasn't giving me much options.
Yeah, I was gonna say error, this page do not exist. So the 300s are gone. Which honestly, man, the 300s was a gangster car. It was a cool car.
A gangster car.
It was high horsepower. It had a Demi in it.
Yeah, man.
And it was like it reminded you of something that they would have built back in the days, like back in the 60s.
Yeah.
And it was a 4-door but it was a muscle.
Yes.
It was a muscle sedan.
Get out the way.
Yeah, I mean, it was an AMG eater. I mean, it was built on Mercedes. I get it, but it was an AMG.
Mm-hmm.
It was up. It was the SRT8s.
Yeah,
it was holding it down, man.
That's right. That's right.
It's holding it down. And I kind of wish that they hadn't got away from the Stellantis. I don't know what's going on with you guys.
Yeah,
but
because they did that the new Charger, which they're going backwards in there. They did what Pontiac did with the Grand Prix back in the 90s.
Yeah.
One size car, you can get it 2 or 4 doors.
Right. Right. One size car, 2 4.
And then what happened? The president quit. So it's like, hey, this okay, I'm gone.
Yep. He's gone. He did his thing. And it's like, it's crazy like that. The glory days of the Big 3, I think. Besides for little stuff like this with the GTDs and stuff.
Yeah. But China is buying up all these companies now, because you see the new China bought MG.
Really?
And that's a British company. It's still a British company. Yes, China owns it now. And they came out with the new MG, which is all electric. It looks nice.
Really?
And they're keeping the heritage. They're keeping the MG heritage.
Right.
Even got the British flag in the tail lights, like Mini Cooper does.
Like the Mini Cooper.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go again. I used to be all for 100%. Hey, the tech, man, let's do electric cars off. Yeah, let's go. Mm-hmm. But I'm starting to regress and retract that statement. Mm-hmm. And you gotta have that sound, man.
Yeah,
like
gotta have
what we experienced just now with this car.
Yes.
You gotta have that. I mean, the Model S Plaid, the Teslas, they're quick. Mm-hmm. Man, it's cool that they're quick, but it's something. It's one thing to be quick and have a rumble under it.
Yeah.
And be quick and it just be like a roller coaster and just quick with no sound.
Yeah, you gotta have that feel. You gotta that sound.
Yeah.
And then you got the feel and sound. Hyundai Ioniq, they do it good. They even do the gears good.
But they're faking the sound.
But you can't tell it's fake though. Okay. unless you tweak it to sound more electronic, whatever, right? Okay. But let's say that you got that. You got the sound. You got the feel. You got the rumble your seat. Just like you did, right? Okay. But you don't have the smell. You don't have the gas.
Yeah, you don't have that fuse.
Yeah,
the smell of it.
Yeah, because my Mark 1. Every once in a while you smell the gas, because it does overrun. It's built an overrun,
right?
So you smell that gas every once in a while,
right? To let you know, hey, look, this is what I paid for.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is what's going on. It's really it's real mechanical stuff going on under there.
Right.
It's not like just a battery and but I get it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just caveat of it's just a thing of having an electric car.
Yeah.
But it just it's just like Ferraris. To have that screen, it's phenomenal. That V12 screen, that Ferrari screen, the V12 screen.
Yeah.
That the 360 Medinas, remember those? The 360s?
Yeah. Sound like an F1 car.
Those things were screaming. Those were screamers, man. And it remind you of the Toyota, the FS, the Toyota, Lexus. LFA.
That's still the best sounding V10
right
in the world. In history still sounds.
Yes. And the Bugatti Veyrons and the things of that nature, the Chevrons, but but now you get to like where they just quick.
Yeah,
they look cool, but they just quick.
Right.
And I don't know. It's
not about breaking necks of your passenger.
Yeah, man. I mean, imagine. I don't have one. I don't have a Ferrari or a Lambo or nothing like that. But it's just coming down the street and downshifting and hearing that blip, that scream.
Yeah,
it's just And that's one thing that I always like was that Ferrari screen.
Even though like those Maseratis,
the Maserati
have the Ferrari tuned engine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude.
Bring it back. We want that sound.
Yeah.
Bring that sound, but not artificial.
Right.
Bring that real. Bring it back. Mm-hmm. Bring that sound.
Or just keep it. Don't get rid of it.
Or just keep it. I drove the Z06 C8. I drove it. And hopefully, I gotta get that car in this garage, man. I gotta get the guy that owns that car. He's gonna come over and do a podcast. But thank you, Chevrolet, for continuing in the spirit of normally aspirated.
And that's I think they're gonna keep that forever.
Supercharged, but huh?
Yeah, I think they're gonna keep that forever.
Right.
And they're gonna have at least one ICE engine, and that's one ICE engine car. At least
right.
They're gonna do that forever, and then Ford is gonna keep the Mustang forever.
Yeah,
they're gonna keep the Mustang forever.
But just that's what I'm saying. That just that sound and that feel.
Yeah,
where you feel like you don't know if you're gonna make it.
Yeah,
you
get scared a little bit.
You checking on your seatbelt. Yeah, you're just gonna,
And the thing too, from what I hear, hearing the European guys drive American cars.
Yeah,
it's not just the rumble and the feel. It's just that when you hit the gas and the whole car shake. Only American cars do that.
Really?
Only American cars do
that little.
Yeah, just the shake from the
for the torque.
Yeah, the torque. Yeah, only American cars.
That's true.
That. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, because who was it? The Hennessy's owner, the owner from the Remax, and then there's the other guy. Bald guy from they both test drove their own cars, and then the Hennessy Venom, they're both were saying you hit the car, you hit the gas, and like, whoa.
Yeah,
it's like only American cars do that.
Only American cars. They have that big,
Yeah,
and let you know you got.
And that's what gets it because I had my first Mustang that I owned. It was a V6. Okay. Even with that, you hit the gas, the car shake.
Yeah.
So this is American.
Let's shake.
Yeah. When he said that, I was like, I thought about it. I was like, yeah, that's right. Only American cars do that.
Yeah, that's true. Big V8s, man, or V6s.
Yeah.
But we need to get back to that, man. I wish I'd go back in time, man, and just relive those times where the Grand Nationals and the Typhoons and Cyclones and all those vehicles was on the streets, and shoot, outright Z28s, all those cars. So, but we're in another time and place right now. And I always, we just appreciate the few that's out there now. So that's a good thing. But
because I was thinking too. I was watching a drag racing show, and there's a guy in a Nova killing everybody on the street, and it was a 64, 65 body style.
Wow, yeah,
that's the car I want.
Yeah,
I don't care about a drag car. I just want that. I want a Nova.
You want that Nova, right?
I want that Nova. I want to find one and build it.
Right. Yeah. Malibu's good luck finding a good Malibu now. Yeah.
Even if I have just a shell, and build on a different chassis, whatever.
Right.
But I like that body style, and that little Nova was one of the first muscle cars, because it was Nova back then, and it was the Ford had the Galaxy.
The Galaxy.
Was the precursor to the Mustang. Because it used the same chassis. Mustang used the same chassis.
The Falcon.
The Falcon, yes, the Falcon. That's what I'm sorry, not the Galaxy. It's the Falcon.
Right.
There's the Galaxy first, and the Falcon, and Nova were the same class.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because you can tell, what year what year the cars were made, because each manufacturer copied their each other's body style, the body shape.
That's true.
And only way they got different was was the Mustang and Camaro look totally from each other. Because if you look at the Thunderbird and then the first Corvettes, they look almost similar.
Almost similar.
You know, and then Corvette went to the sports side and Thunderbird went to the luxury side. Then they start looking different.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well. Well, that was cool, man. So I guess that wraps up this week's episode of Gears of Bills and Baron. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.